Alrighty, let's start. Hello, 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 hello. Man, I'm feeling a bit energetic today. Man, the moment I said that, all of a sudden my energy kind of dropped. uh, okay. So, today, gonna go through some, NieR reincarnation stuff. Last week, um, for last week, I went through, what was it, character quests? Went through some backstory for Hina and Yuzuki and 10H. And then afterwards, I went through the first arc of the game, the girl arc, to pick up any remaining lost archives and hidden stories. I think it was just lost archives, though, for that. And today I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to collect lost archives and hidden stories. There probably will be a few hidden stories here and there that'll show up into the defilers are just evil lobsters. That'll probably show up in the previous arc as well, so I'll probably end up going back there and checking those out. They usually show up once I get all 9 other hidden stories of that chapter. And they're usually just notes from Mama talking about that, the person from that chapter. Also, I'll just say right now, I did have a number of issues with this game last night. I had a number of times where it would like crash and then the game wouldn't load properly and stuff. So hopefully, that doesn't happen. And it does still have some like, oh, jeez. Yep. It does still have some loading issues here, too. But it's not too big of a deal. Let me just quickly finish up the 5 daily missions here, and then we can get on with those. Quests. So I intend to collect all the lost archives and hidden stories for this second part of the game, the Sun and Moon part. It's gonna be a lot to get, but it shouldn't take super long, I would imagine. And then tomorrow I'll do the same thing, but for the final part of the game, the people in the world. Not exactly sure how long I'll go on for this stream. It could be 2 hours, it could be 3 hours, I'm not sure. Because I'm not like super caught up with every detail in the game, obviously. Because I still got Recollections of Dusk, but they're very, like, difficult. And I can't handle it. These offer a lot more story as well, but fortunately, they're very difficult. And I can't clear them. Oh, I didn't mean to go there. Like, I only cleared the Lars one. Just one of them. But that's it. But there's still so many. There's still, like, these 3 to go through. And this is just normal. And there's hard mode for it, too. And then very hard mode. Like, it's super difficult. So I haven't... It's gonna take a long time just to clear it. So those, unfortunately, I'm not gonna do. I'm not too big brain enough to put together a team. Alrighty. So in this area, there's a whole slew of lost archives and hidden stories together. Okay, well, I say a whole slew, but there's a lost archive there and a hidden story over there. And there is a stray scarecrow, too. These stray scarecrows only offer, like, materials as rewards, so I don't think I'll be doing those today. I'll just focus on lost archives and stuff. There's actually a few. I thought there'd be a bit more. Well, hidden stories, there's definitely quite a bit. And yeah, I also forgot that there are conditions to unlock these hidden stories. So a portion of this time will probably be spent doing this too. Oh yeah, and there's this, hey. Well, when I get to that point. Alright. So the Lost Archive is just up ahead, but before I get over there, there's this right here. Oh. Alright, let's go. There it is right there.
Is this a prison?
That's the wrong line, but okay.
Iron bars. One of them should show us the way.
Take a gander. Regarding scarecrow purification, the boy has always been keeping me clean. Blah, 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 blah. He is with me. Blah, it feels good, but blah, 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 blah. Author. You can't read that. Disposal required. Let's see here. There's actually a stray scarecrow up there too. But I don't care for that. Go over here. Like I said, load times can be a bit long. Hell, even before stream when I was loading into the game, it took a while. And frames will drop as we're loading, so... Ripped a note. Thanks for reading this. If you'd something, 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 something. Yeah, see what I mean with the load? Like, it'll freeze at like a certain percent, but then it'll continue as normal. Oh, there you go. There we are. Okay, there's also like some items here too. Was it back here or? Actually, no, it might just be up ahead.
Listen, now that you're used to your job, I have something to tell you. The broken sun in this world once contained a great power. And this job I'm asking you to do will hopefully fix it.
So, if I repair the sun, I can go home?
We'll see.
Oh, here's the items. I can't believe Papa was part of the virus. Anime betrayal. Here we are. Ding 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 ding. Access granted. Downloading file. Download complete. Extracting file. Extraction complete. It's kind of weird how some of these hidden stories aren't in like a... I mean, from 1 to 10, obviously, that's in order. But like when you unlock them, they're not really in order. Because sometimes I would find myself getting like 3 unlocked and reading through 3. And then I have to go back and look at 2. A day in the life of a high school girl. Stage of reality, pupils excerpt. During a break between classes, the teacher furrows a troubled brow before a large stack of worksheets on her desk. The girl sees this and immediately volunteers to help, whisking them away to the staff office. When she returns, her classmates surround her. "Help us with our assignments," they cry in needy voices. But the girl never once makes a sour face, instead kindly helping each and every one of them in turn. On the way home, the girl rushes into the grocery store and buys discounted food out of consideration for her father's meager budget. But she also makes sure to choose mostly bland vegetables due to his declining health. After dinner, the girl quietly washes the dishes and takes a shower, mindful of using too much water. She silently flicks on a dim kitchen light so as not to disturb her sleeping father, then opens her textbooks on the floor and begins to study. Late. The girl finally crawls into bed. This is the one time of day when no one meddles with her, when she is free from the hell of minding others' needs, but she gets no chance to enjoy her respite, instead slipping instantly into a deep and dreamless sleep. I really should do more reading, eh? Just in general. Reminds me back in high school, whenever... You ever have that moment back in, like, school? Whether it's elementary, middle school, or high school, or even college or university or whatever, where the teacher calls on the class and was like, "Who would like to read this page of the book, of the textbook, or whatever?" And no one raises their hands. I was usually the one to put up my hand. Because I see everyone else and I'm sitting there like, ugh, cowards. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Why not? Which is interesting to think about today. Like, why don't people choose to read out loud? There's no way people can be that nervous, right? Oh, well, I mean, no, that sounds a bit rude to say. There are people out there who can feel that nervous about, like, being in front of an audience or whatever. But in almost every instance, for me personally, no one would really put up their hand to read out loud. So I would just do it for them. I was like, yeah, fine. I'll be the brave boy. If no one's willing to do it, I'll do it. And I didn't mind, actually. It was kind of nice just reading out loud. It would keep me awake. Because reading normally does put me to sleep. Mama's 5th letter. How are you lately? How are you lately? You try to get enough rest. We wouldn't want you getting sick. You hear that? Listen to Mama. Oh, right. We start from point 1, so we had to go through, like, cutscenes and stuff first. Fukuwarai.
My phone's been updated.
And the one messaging them is her. Hello, are you comfortable in the cage now? Papa is the guy you met, yes? You should listen to what he has to say, even though he may seem a little unreliable. Oh, that reminds me. It seems like you've witnessed a couple of pasts thus far. The mage girl, her best friends, and your own. The one where you care for your father as he suffers. You may be able to use the power from the broken sun if you manage to fix it, but it is up to you to decide whether you believe that or not.
It's so pretty here.
It is. I like the blue. And look at that. Hidden story. Man, controlling the... Use items, shop 20 times. Controlling the movement with the mouse is so annoying. On BlueStacks, I could just use WASD to move. But in this one, they don't have that set up for you. You'd have to set it up yourself, and I'm just too lazy to do it. Password. Grant access granted. So interesting to me how it goes from Drakengard, a world of fantasy and magic and dragons and all that stuff, fairies and whatnot, to the just sci-fi robots and aliens. Sundered Amusement Park. One day, a young girl went to the amusement park with her father and little brother. As they stood in line for a ride in the harsh sunlight, their father grew faint and dizzy. "Dad, are you okay?" She busily minded her dad and decided to buy a cold bottle of tea from a nearby gift store. And as she twisted open the cap to hand it to her dad, her little brother tugged on her sleeve, causing the bottle to fall to the ground and spill everywhere. In her genuine worry for her dad, she coldly said to her brother, "Stop it, get away." She felt a slight pang of regret when she saw how he hung his head, but she was more concerned with caring for her dad. After a moment of thought, she realized that she was so happy to spend a day out with her dad that she spent the entire time talking to him. Of course, the neglected boy would crave attention. Once her dad recovered, the girl turned to apologize to her brother, but he vanished in the crowd. All that was left of him was his hat, resting by its lonesome on the ground where he once stood. Man, that's kind of sad. Poor Yuzu. And then another hidden story popped up there, which has a condition. We're going through Hina's, though. Huh, interesting. 200 stamina total. Yeah, let me do that then. I don't have Dark Memory unlocked for Hina just yet. I guess we can just do that then, hey? Might as well. I have to go through this, though. This actually might take a while. And the reason why I didn't do these off stream is because, like, when you do unlock the weapon or whatever for the Dark Memories, it does give you, like, a story. So I guess we'll have to go through this. I mean, two birds with one stone, you can get to spend the stamina for this. It'll take a while. I don't know at what point we get the Dark Memory weapon going through these. I did get Zeraphym's before. That was the last one I got. But there's still Hina, Yuzuki, and 10H to grab. So we'll just go through this. Load times are gonna be painful to get through. it's really just the load times that'll make this quite lengthy. Since the fights themselves take like maybe like no more than a minute.
Let's get this slaughter show on the road.
I'll fix this up here. Maybe it'll be a bit smoother.
I'll cut you down. How annoying.
Yeah, when it's 3 characters, it starts to lag. So I gotta really tone it down here. It's still so weird to me that putting it on low makes it worse.
Come on. Just die already.
And then we gotta go on to the next one. Oh wait, it costs 1 stamina. Well, that's not gonna contribute much to the 200 stamina that needs to be spent. Man, it's coming up close to the end of service. 10 more days. I think it'll be on Monday. Not this upcoming Monday. On the 29th. Dang. It's crazy to think about that this game's gone. It's such a good story and great music too.
Before I change my mind.
It's just a shame that they made this into a gacha game.
I hope we can do this.
You can definitely do it. You got this, Fio. These 3 right here, my favorite. Zero is pretty
Come on.
awesome.
Just die already. My thanks.
Akea is just cool, and Fio is just too precious for this world. Oh, excuse me.
You should leave before I change my mind.
I hope we can do this.
I really think they could do a lot with this, with reincarnation here. I've talked about it before. Or instead of making it like an auto battler here or something, they could be, I don't know.
Don't let up.
I mean, it could still be like a turn-based game. I don't know. I don't know how else they could change or rework reincarnation as a game. Maybe like punishing Grey Raven. I once read like reviews for this game when I was scouring through like the wiki or whatever, and people were criticizing it, and people have criticized it being more being just like simply like a walking simulator or some shit, and the gameplay isn't all that great or whatever.
Let's get this
Which,
slaughter show
I mean,
on the
fair
road.
enough. They're not entirely wrong. Gameplay definitely isn't something to be really, like... Isn't,
I hope we
like,
can do
super
this.
innovative or unique or anything. But I think the most important thing about this game that really draws me in is just the story. And the music, of course.
How annoying.
And the characters in each of their stories. Plus the scenery when it comes to walking around in the cage. Ooh. For a mobile game, it's gorgeous. I love it. Just goes to it just goes to show that you don't need unique or innovative gameplay to make it a good game. Nothing ever needs to be 100% perfect. You can't please everyone. A cage traverse. Fascinating.
You should leave before I
I wonder what
change
goes
my
on through the
mind.
mind of people that, like, think of this shit up, you know? Because it's really
I hope we can do this.
unique and imaginative. The cage,
I'll cut you down.
and the architecture, and the whole purpose of the cage.
How annoying.
Ba-da-da-dum-da-da-da-dum. Ba-bum, 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 bum. You know, I don't really, I don't want to be that kind of person, but I wonder what a reincarnation collaboration in Final Fantasy XIV would look like. And a lot of people, if I were to say that on like on the frickin' FF14 forums or whatever, a lot of people would just be at my throat. Just imagine being in the cage and you're able to see the memories of like Emmett Selk.
We're fighting now?
We're just being reminded of what happened.
Come on. Just die already.
That's aggressive. Let's turn it down just a tad bit.
How annoying.
Blind again? Bum, bum. Bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Da-da-dum, 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 da-da-dum. Hang on, I think they once mentioned that they were working on another NieR game or something? Like for the console or something? I can't remember. I think that was said before. I could swear. Imagine it's just a rework of Reincarnation. Holy shit.
Come on, just die already.
That'd be kind of nuts.
How annoying.
Thanks.
Hang on, let me see. I guess maybe I was wrong. Maybe I just misheard. Dun, 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 dun. Ba-dum, da-ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. Let me see. I'm reading like an article.
Let's get this slaughter show on the road.
How annoying.
I don't know. There's like mixed, different like... I'm getting like mixed answers. Oh! Amelin Special Sword. That's it. There we go. That unlocks Hina's dark memory, I think. An Ocean Sunset, Part 1. Divergent Phenomena, Records 20... Oh, jeez. Numbers. 2020, Tokyo.
The ruined city lies covered in a thick layer of cloud. The soft patter of rain echoes through empty streets. Amidst the still and silence, a young voice emerges from the second floor of a crumbling building. It's okay. A kiss will make the hurt go away. A young girl gently affixes a bandage to a scratch on her little brother's knee. The pair have been drifting through the ruined city for days, as though running from something. Wet clothes, dry throats, empty stomachs, lost parents. All these anxieties and fears weigh heavy on their minds. Suddenly, there is a quick, faint shudder in the earth. They hold their breaths and grip each other tightly. The ground shudders again. It's getting closer. They grasp each other's clothes as the shaking grows greater, more intense. They know what is causing it, and that knowledge is a horror. But then, the tremors come to a stop, and the bleached white bones of a monster's eyes peer through the building window.
2028 Harbor.
A girl stands on the deck of an escort vessel docked at a military harbor. Clad in a military uniform, she gazes up at the sky. It is the same girl from the abandoned city. She now stands in the warm sunlight, lost in thought. Years have passed since that day. She is no longer a scared little girl, but a soldier. "The general is asking for you, Captain," says a boy in the same uniform. She turns around, smoothing hair mussed by the ocean breeze. "I'll be right there," she says softly. The girl walks into the ship's control room and finds a number of officers gathered. None are older than 20. All wear the same worried expression. The general, the same one who has summoned them here, begins his brief in terse tones. "In our previous operation, some of you retreated from the front line without my orders. The purpose of the previous operation was to capture Legion. Legion are white monsters with bone-like shells, and the greatest threat humanity has ever known. The organization the girl belongs to was formed for the sole purpose of eradicating Legion. Talented personnel have been gathered from across the world to dispatch the monsters wherever and whenever they crop up. Just a few days prior, the girl and her squadron engaged multiple Legion in battle. But faced with greater enemy numbers than anticipated, several of her soldiers lost their nerve and ran. Now those same soldiers sit in the briefing room with sweat running down their bodies. The general opens his mouth to scold them, perhaps even punish them, when the girl suddenly speaks. "I issued the order to retreat, sir," she says. Her squad turns to look at her in surprise. She issued no such order. It is a lie. Yet she tells it in order to protect those who serve beneath her. "As the leader of this squad, our failure is my responsibility alone. If there is punishment to be had, permit me to take it in their place." The general stammers in the face of his subordinate's sudden confession. But he quickly regains himself and informs the girl of her punishment. Her squad will be assigned to maintenance and cleaning duties about the ship. Said vessel's purpose is to transport some precious cargo overseas. The ship must be fueled and prepped for the journey, then made ready to depart with all speed. Though the girl and her squad are combat personnel, they will now be used as the most base of laborers. I expect this ship to be ready to depart by nightfall, continues the general. Once preparations are complete, return here. Should you fail, a number of your squadron will be discharged, no matter where the true fault lies. It is an entirely unreasonable demand, but the girl only nods. A moment later, she and her squad gather around a map of the ship on a nearby wall. The girl runs her finger across the map, calling out names as she glides over each room. When everyone has their assignments, she turns to depart. "Begging your pardon, ma'am," says a young squad member. "But the jobs you gave yourself are terrible." The boiler, the morgue, the sewage tanks. The girl has taken on the most demeaning and horrific tasks for herself. "Oh, I didn't realize," she responds with a smile, before dismissing her squad to their work. They say no more as they scatter to their stations. The girl makes for the morgue straight away. Here she finds bodies of those who perished during the voyage, having suffered grave injuries in the last battle with the Legion. She follows the medical team's orders and disposes of the bodies, praying they might find peace in the next life. Afterwards, she moves through the ship, taking care of preparation, maintenance, and cleaning in each of her assigned areas. Footsteps echo throughout the ship as her squad rushes to and fro. Crew members offer cheerful greetings as they slip by in cramped hallways. A warm, comfortable breeze blows through the ship as it prepares for an arduous voyage. Once she is finished, the girl makes her way to the control room where the deadline is looming. If she is even 1 second late, the general will dismiss her squad mates without mercy or recourse. After a moment's hesitation, she pushes open a rigid door to take a shortcut to her destination, and finds herself in a storehouse far too large for the ship. In the center lies a sturdy cage that contains the massive Legion they captured the other day. This is the creature to which so many of her squad lost their lives. In an instant, she understands the nature of the ship's precious cargo. She gazes upon its white body, covered by a shell that looks like it might belong to some manner of crustacean. Part of it is stained a deep red, perhaps because it absorbed blood. The left arm is cracked and shattered like porcelain, damage sustained in the recent fight. Images of her squad mates being torn to shreds replay in the girl's mind. The Legion's head moves slightly as it turns to look at her. Its eye sockets are empty. But when their gazes lock, a different emotion roils inside of her. She feels as though it sees straight through her, and so looks away. Less than 2 minutes remain until the deadline. The rest of her squad has finished their tasks, and now waits for the girl in the control room. 50 seconds left. 30 seconds. None can hide their unease. Their entire lives now lie in her hands. With 10 seconds to spare, the girl bursts through the door. "Sorry to cut it so close," she says with a grin. Though he seems disappointed, The general announces there will be no further punishment. Muttering his displeasure, he leaves the control room. Seconds pass after he leaves. The remaining squad members exchange glances before bursting into a raucous cheer. "We knew we could count on you, Captain," they say. Some laugh, some shed tears. They crowd around her, reveling in a shared joy. The girl has always been willing to place her life on the line for her squad. She is skilled in both martial and intellectual pursuits, as well as capable and kind. She is, in short, the finest leader any of them could ask for. And as the sun dips below the horizon, its few remaining rays shine over them, as though giving a blessing.
It was a really lengthy read. Or, yeah. Interesting. Isn't that what those... Legion. Isn't that what they were called back in Replicant? Hang on. Oh yeah. Wait. Did they? Yep. Yeah. That's what they were called. Oh yeah. Yep. And 100%. Hina and Yuzuki were part of that universe. Or timeline. Dang. That's crazy. Crusaders. Hamlin. Dang. That's so interesting. Well, there we go. We got the weapon, which means we now have unlocked the Dark Memory, or Dark Memory quest for Hina. So we just gotta run that 10 times and that will unlock the hidden story. And it's any Dark Memory quest. Yep, there she is. In a different timeline, she was a captain of a group of crusaders to fight against the Legion. That's such a cool outfit, man. Coats and jackets like that, man, look so cool. It's the reason why Rose in Final Fantasy XIV, my character Rose, has a coat like that. Well, not exactly like that, but you know what I mean. It's the reason why she has a coat. Because it looks cool. Hang on. I'm just gonna double check. I just need to clear 10 Dark Memory quests? Hina quests? Or do I have to have Hina in the... Oh, for Hina, okay. Just for her. So I don't need to have her in the setup, in the loadout. You know, I could probably replicate this look in 14. It wouldn't be super hard. But of course, since these two games are so drastically different to one another, getting it one-to-one is very much impossible. After all, when it comes to outfits, there's very specific details and designs. So it's impossible to replicate outfits of different games and whatnot into on 14. It's not exactly one-to-one. It'll never be one-to-one. You can always get stuff similar and close to the look. For me, I always try and make it look as close as possible. But usually, sometimes it ends up being so unsatisfactory that I kind of just give up on it. Especially when it comes to coloring.
Here I go. Go down!
Out to anger me, are you?
Dun, 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 dun. These boss designs are really cool. Look at that. Roses coming out from the bottom like that. That's one done. And then there's 2 more. And then we just gotta run them 7 more times. And then we get the hidden story unlocked. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, boom, boom. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Okay, these 2 next. Three. Let's max out on that. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Da-da-da. Oh, jeez. Oh, excuse me.
You should leave before I change my mind. Out to anger me, are you?
Easy. Now trying to get the rest of the stories for the Dark Memories will take some time, because I have to gather. Because to do it, I have to constantly ascend the Dark Memory weapons. I think there's like 11 or 12 stages you have to go through. And after a certain amount of stages, you get the next part of the story, and there's like 4 parts total. And ascending these weapons to the next stage requires material. Quite a lot of it, actually. Now, I have tons of skip tickets, so that'll make things easier in terms of, like, time, in terms of time, but I don't have that many skip tickets. I think I only have, like, over 1,000, but I'm definitely going to need a lot more if I want to get all the Dark Memory stories. Because I only got a few people, but not everyone. Now, I haven't really been farming it off stream either. Actually, how many tickets do I have? Okay, only 1288. Yeah, I don't. That's not gonna be enough. I don't think. I mean, we get extra. I mean, we get drop rates. I guess 10 days. Increases drop rates by 100%. I mean, I guess there's that. Maybe it won't actually take that as long as I thought it would. As long as I think it would. Hmm.
You should leave before I change my mind.
Come on. Just die already.
How annoying.
Thanks.
Alrighty. So now we just do 7 more of these quests. And we get the hidden story. Open memories too. Shooing birds. Okay. Coin and ticket. Which one's more important? I don't remember. I think coin is better. I have tons of tickets already, so. Yeah, you can use the coins to shop exchange. Yeah, okay. Do a coin. Just need 7. And then... Yep, there it is. That's done. And then there's this too. 140 stamina spent. Okay. Then I'll just do one of these. Actually, no. I should actually use it on the dark memory, eh? I don't know who to work on, though. Let me see here. I feel like I've gone... How many have I done? I have this Rion. I have Gale. I got you. I obviously have you. Got you. And you. And you. I don't think... I don't have Lars yet, so we'll go Lars. 140 stamina. 100 stamina here. Oh wait, no. That was 100 tickets, not 100 stamina. So I spent over 1,000 stamina already. Whoops. Whatever. That's fine. Yeah, okay. Alright, continuing on. I don't know how to get here. How do you get here? Do I have to go from... How do I get over there? Do I go from here? There's a scarecrow there too. A stray one. I think I go from here. Hmm. Music. Make sure to keep an eye open. An eye? Eye. I said eye. Ear open for beautiful music. Can't believe I said eye. You know what? I think I'll just keep it on medium quality. It's gonna look ugly, but hey, what can you do?
Are you going to help me restore these things at all?
Papa already has a big job, and that's guiding you around the cage. You see, I'm more the kind of guy who likes to coast through life on royalties.
Oops.
I suddenly understand you so much better. Oh, the road's collapsed.
Well, we should be able to cross on those routes. Just, try not to fall down. All right, kiddo?
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Just out of curiosity, hang on. The stray scarecrow should actually... Oh, there was actually a secret path around here, too. One I've never noticed.
I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay.
It's just off to the side here.
Nope, not okay.
Come on, girl. You can do it. Papa's right behind you, so no need to worry.
Wow. Yeah, I never would have discovered this. Oh, look at this. I'm actually curious. Let's see. Let's take a look. Huh.
I feel like this scarecrow's bad news.
In battle. Should I? Oh, that's what it's for, too. I mean... nah.
I should ignore that and keep going.
Maybe during my own free time. There you go.
Well, we made it. Somehow. But, wait. Another dead end? Ugh.
Why not give that thingamajig there a little poke?
Huh? What is it this time? I'm dizzy.
That there's what we call a good old-fashioned warp.
There it is.
Wow. Look at those buildings.
The treaty pair. The girl's family started gradually falling apart when she was in middle school. The stress of attempting to deal with the debt incurred by her mother had taken its toll on her father. Hoping to keep her family together, the girl did all she possibly could to mediate, but nothing she tried brought happiness back to her home. Though once gregarious and cheerful, the girl loses the confidence she once had in herself and then one day decides to skip school, sacrificing her perfect attendance record. She does nothing in particular that day. She simply lies in bed and stares vacantly at the ceiling. Just as evening falls upon the city, however, something happens. Her smartphone shows some kind of notification. Taking it in hand, her screen shows a plushie of a baby bird and a message from her little brother that reads, "Found a good one." The corners of the girl's mouth turn slightly upwards, and she feels as though her burden has been lightened somewhat. She thinks on how amazing her brother is for never wavering no matter what situation he finds himself in. Even in this household that teeters on the brink, there is still one thing about it that refuses to change. And perhaps that one thing is all someone needs to find the courage to press on. In that moment, the girl vows that she will never show weakness in front of her brother. Another hidden story got unlocked over there. I have to run through that area. And clear the scarecrow too for it. Another 200 stam. Okay. Going for Lars again then. This time I'll actually pay proper attention to the stamina cost. Or to the stamina being spent. There we go. Whoops. Okay. I have to run through here. Because if I go over here, I won't be able to go back, I don't think. No, actually, never mind. It's a warp. Right? So I should be able to get back to that spot. You can go back using a warp, but for some reason when it's an elevator, you can't. An elevator is a one-way trip, apparently. Hmm. Excuse me. Right, and that door never opens, too. I've just remembered. Oh, maybe if I played as Yuzuki? Maybe it'll open? There should be a lost archive around here, too, somewhere. Oh, it's up ahead. Hang on. Yeah, this door doesn't open. But I think if I play it as Yuzuki, maybe it will. I feel like that might be the entire reason why you can alternate between who gets to go where. Which character goes where.
There's no one here.
Blackbird behaviors. Dear sister. Oh, it's that brunette girl again. I can't hold it in anymore. The truth is that I'm scared. I'm so scared, and I want to go home as soon as possible. This place is like a maze, and the only thing here are a bunch of dark monsters. Some are shaped like people, and others look like little animals. For a minute, I thought maybe I could be friends with them, but I can't. Their eyes are too scary. Staring into them is like staring into a deep and stagnant swamp. And when I noticed the black birds have the same exact eyes as the monsters, I got even more scared and... No, sorry, I'm doing great. I'm having so much fun here. I'm having the greatest time. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Jeez. Okay, so I can't go back. Nice. Whee! I think I'm in the right spot. Am I? Wait, where am I? Oh, what? Wait, what? Okay, this is point 3. Oh. It's at the very end? Huh, hang on. So, hang on. Scarecrow 1, that's 2. This is point 3. Just to go over here. I think we go through here. Oh, I thought I was like... Okay, I thought the warp would be from here to... Okay. I thought it was from like... I thought it was going to be from like point 3, this warp, all the way to here. That's what I thought. Okay. So I gotta play from here. I mean, yeah, at least I got the Lost Archive. So for this next one, I think I have to go deal with the Scarecrow. It's kind of hard to tell with the map layout being like that. The only sort of way to tell is like different points of the map for you to start at to know which order. Oh. Excuse me. Oh, man, I'm hungry. Hang on. Oh, jeez, this packaging is so bad. Just grabbing a protein bar. I'm gonna munch on this. Okay, so think back. Oh shit. Oh great. So I have to progress from here then? That's so weird to me. The elevators are only a one-way trip. But the warps. Hmm. Hmm. Delicious. I think we're only on chapter 2 for this stuff, man. And I was planning to go through this entire arc for it. It's gonna take a long time.
There's no one here.
Oh wait, there's treasure. There's items. Shit. Let me pick that up again. Let me go pick that up. There we go.
Is this a prison? Do you lock bad people up in the cage?
Who can say?
The answer is yes, at least those who have committed sins.
Someone's here, sis. This is too dangerous. You need to hide.
Well, I'll be good and damned. They can talk. These chatterboxes are nasty types that invaded the cage. And we need to send them packing.
Please, just let my little sister go.
But they're so scared.
If you don't take care of these birds, we'll never get the other soul fragments.
Damn.
Please, please just don't hurt my little sister. There's no point in living without my sister.
No. Oh, no.
Don't let it get you down, kiddo. There was no other way. Why the long face?
Just thinking about my brother from back when we were kids. Since I was his big sister, I always wanted to protect him.
Oh, here we are.
Got a little brother, eh?
Twin stars of envy. Whew. Okay, hang on. Okay. When the girl was young, she went camping with her family over summer vacation. Together they pitched a tent, then barbecued meat over the grill. When night fell, stars blanketed the campground. Her dad set up his telescope, and her little brother, unable to contain his excitement, was the first to take a peek. Let's see if we can find those two stars. After her father taught him how to use the telescope, her younger brother would spout every bit of knowledge he had about the stars. What a warm sight, father and son with a shared interest. Yet for some reason, the girl felt a terrible sense of loss. Stargazing, photography, all of her brother's hobbies came from their father, but she was born first. She adored their father more than anyone. Why couldn't she be where her little brother stood? The twin stars shone brightly in the night sky. Like one of the distant stars scattered around them, she stood a ways away, watching the pair, unable to ever get close. Oh man, I'm getting hiccups. Another one up ahead. And this one I gotta get through this. I gotta get past the scarecrow to get to it. But we can skip. I'm pretty sure I can skip the battle though.
Say, think Papa could take a peek at that phone of yours?
Alright. But just a peek. Hey, stop! What are you doing?
Well, you seem pretty lonely back there. So I decided to give your brother a ring.
What's wrong with you?
Oh. Well, sorry about that. Just trying to do something nice for you, you know?
I'm sorry I yelled at you.
Oh, that's all right. I shouldn't have done whatever it is I did. Now hop on in.
Right. Here I go.
Alright, let's skip. Skip battle and skip story. Yes. Bum, 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 bum. Third rip note. Visiting the library. I gotta put together these rip notes. Actually, I'm sure someone online has already done it. I just need to look it up. Oh, second. Like to check out stills, we suggest visiting the library. Thank you for reading this note. If you'd like to something, I already forgot. I already forgot.
So, the beast was the girl with the glasses all along.
Yup. I do like that the doors aren't super loud, like in BlueStacks.
I think this piano is...
This remind you of something?
Yeah, I used to practice the piano at my grandparents' house when I was a little girl. It always made everyone so happy when I played it well.
Well, that sounds like a nice memory. You'll have to play something for Papa sometime.
As long as it's something simple. And only if we get a chance before I go home.
So 20 items in the shop. Okay. That's easy. Collect 150 hidden stories. Loss sought. Brother and sister wander the cage, and they come across a cluster of high-rise buildings. There, they find the apartment where their whole family used to live before their parents' divorce. What is their old house doing here? They find the corridor leading into the building, and when they come to their apartment, they find it in the exact same state as it was in their memory, down to the scuffs on the wallpaper and the miscellaneous trinkets scattered about. With an intense nostalgia for their old life in their hearts, the girl and her younger brother begin to search the house. In the kitchen, she finds the children's knife she used to use when she was young. On the weekends, she and her brother would make omelet rice together, wouldn't they? In her bedroom, she finds her baby chick plushie by her pillow. On her worst days, she would hug it as she drifted off to sleep, wouldn't she? In the end, they come together again in the living room, and she takes the picture frame she finds there in hand. It is a picture of their family, all smiling together. The brother and sister only stare silently as they think back on a time to which they will never return. At that moment, they both feel a peculiar, out-of-place sensation. It is at that instant that the solar eclipse cracks and shatters. They both feel as though they have lost something dear to them, but surely it is something they are both better off not remembering. The vacant pair return to their journey across the cage, never to understand the gaping chasms in their hearts. And that's everything in this chapter. There's a few here. Okay. Let me see if there's anything new to unlock. Nothing. Aside from, well, there's this, but that's not anything new. Okay. So going on from here. It's point 1. Okay, we'll play from point 1. Sun 3, Twilight. Man, hearing this music really makes me think about all the stories that I've read in this game with each of these characters. They're really tragic. And it's really sad to think about.
Did my phone update again?
Hello there, child. It's been a while since you first came to the cage, hasn't it? Now you've seen the past of the poor little mage girl as well as the beast. You must find this all terribly strange. Those buildings you see in the distance, the piano from your memory. And of course, what you saw on the television, the crimes you committed for your father's sake. You must find it odd that things from your past have carried over to this world. I'm not sure if learning the truth behind all of this will do you much good in the end, but for now, you should focus on repairing the broken sun. Once you have its power. What will you wish for? It's interesting how throughout all of this, Mama wasn't aware of it. Or maybe she was aware, but she couldn't do anything.
Smells like rusted iron to me.
Oh, come on. A dead end already?
Papa's got this one. Upsy daisy. Well, this is a humdinger of a deal. The lever's rusted in place.
It's kind of awkward when there's no sound playing.
Your old Papa's still got it.
Yeah, barely.
Come on, Ina.
Well, would you look at that? We got waterfalls and lots of them big wheel thingies.
It's all cold here.
You come snuggle next to Papa then. I'll keep you warm.
I should have brought a coat.
There we go. 10 Dark Memory quests for Hina. Chapter 1. Making Memories. I've separated your meals into portions for each day, so be sure to eat, okay? We live in a modest apartment. I close the refrigerator door and turn to peer into the living room. Then I give laundry and dishes instructions. I go on and on in great detail while my dad just nods quietly. Should I be worried about how much of a worrier I am? It's just me and my dad here, and I'm busy with high school at the same time. My dad was always so gentle, always wearing a warm smile, but ever since the divorce, he's been practically dead inside. One day, his cold, cheerful self would return, or so I told myself as I tackled both school and my part-time job, all while keeping tabs on household expenses and doing housework. For a while there, my dad had the most terrible fatigue, but the medicine his doctor recently prescribed has helped him reach a more stable level. Well, I guess I'm off. Our school trip starts today. Even though my dad's relatively stable right now, I'm honestly worried sick about leaving the apartment. He always sits in the corner of the living room, staring idly at the blank TV. But today, he's come to see me off at the front door. Go on now. Make lots of memories. There's no spirit in the way he carries himself, nor is he smiling, but his kind words remind me of who he used to be. It looks like the medicine is doing its job. I packed only the bare necessities in my beat-up duffel bag. It's frayed, but I use it for everything. I cradle it in my arms and leave the house. I peek back inside just before I shut the door, as I always do. My dad has already turned away. I can't see his face. I look at the time on my phone and realize it's much later than I thought, and here I thought I was going to leave the house with plenty of time to spare. I was busy putting everything in place for my dad's convenience while I'm gone on my trip, and I guess I lost track of time. I run as fast as I can, but I'm too late. When I get to the bus stop, the bus is already shrinking in the distance. My blood runs cold for a second, but it's no time for standing around. If I run to the nearest train station and time my transfers just right, I should make it in time for the meetup. My bag slips. I yank it up. I need to run, I tell myself as I put all my strength into my legs. Pardon me, miss? A voice from behind me. I whirl around as I pitch forward. There stands an old lady, her face perplexed. Fex? Is something the matter? I say with as calm a voice as I can muster, pushing my disheveled hair behind my ear. There's somewhere I'd like to go, but I seem to be lost. She shows me a note. On it is the name of the orthopedic clinic I recognize. Man, my reading comprehension is terrible today. I know where that is. The moment I take a step forward, it hits me again. I'm on the verge of being late for my trip. Luckily, the clinic is on the way to the station. Once I drop her off, I can probably make the train if I run the rest of the way. And so, as to not rush the old lady and her unsteady steps, I walk slowly. I drop her off at the clinic with a smile. I've got to get going. She grabs my palm and places a handful of hard candies in my palm. I give her my thanks and run. I check the time again. I'm a bit later than I initially wanted. I need to hurry, but then, stop! Thief! An unusual call from nearby. I stop in my tracks despite myself. I see someone dressed as a stereotypical thief. Black ski mask and all. Rush out from the convenience store with a bag in his arms. The man in black must have been hit with security paint because a smear of orange is streaked across his back. I calm my shock, gather myself, and then run toward the man. I throw my bag at his feet. He trips over it and falls just as I was hoping for. The convenience store staff run after him and helping passerbys keep him pinned. The staff want to shower me in thanks, but I have to hurry to the station. I apologize with a quick bow of my head, collect my bag, and then rush off. Of all days, when I'm going on a school trip, why does my life feel like an episode of a TV drama? I arrive breathlessly at Tokyo Station to find students wearing the same uniform as me gathered in a group. When my friends notice me, they smile and wave me over. I feel awful for making everybody wait as I make my way to the homeroom teacher. It's not like you to be so late. You usually run on time, he says, but asks nothing more from me and begins to lead all of us students to the bullet train platform. I was convinced I was bound to get scolded, so I heaved a sigh of relief. Oh. Oh, I thought the game was gonna crash there. I sit down in my seat on the train and finally catch my breath. Sitting beside me is a friend I could easily call my best friend. We've been in the same class since elementary school. We're inseparable. Every day she asks me for a favor, just this once, and begs me for help with homework, but I just can't bring myself to dislike her. It's honestly been one thing after another today, I say, my voice a little louder than usual on our first day of the school trip. I begin to tell her what happened on the way here, but she gives a disinterested and keeps her eyes on her phone. Something feels off about her cold reply. This inseparable friend of mine is the life of our whole class. I recently saw her chatting and laughing happily with everyone about how she was late for the gathering time. Want a candy? I hold out one of the candies the old lady gave me. No thanks, she says brusquely. She looks out to the window as though shutting me out. She turns to look out the window as though shutting me out. What the hell? Sounds like they're just really tired of Hina being a goody two-shoes. That's kind of rude. I think that might actually be the case. They're just really tired of hearing that Hina is such a good Samaritan. Hey, I mean, if it were me, I'd be hella impressed. I'd be like, "Holy shit! You just stopped someone from like getting away with a crime. That's pretty impressive." You helped the old lady to the clinic. You helped sorted things out for your dad while you were gone, and still managed to be at the train station on time. That's really good, despite missing the bus. She ran all the way here. That's really impressive. I would be hella impressed. Sorry to say, Hina, but your inseparable friend here is very disrespectful and ungrateful, especially since your friend keeps asking for favors and I would assume doesn't pay you back. I feel bad for you, Hina. Sorry, that was my phone hitting my cup. And the slow time. Alrighty. I think I have to run back for this one. Subjugation battle 5 times. Oh. It's a good thing I didn't do them then, huh? I can just auto them. Auto clear here. Because this counts. Doing this counts. But if there are any other hidden stories that require me to clear a subjugation to unlock the hidden story, then I'll have to go through it. That should be good. There you go. Another reading sesh. Chapter 2, hoping for a good trip. Oh boy, it's gonna be a long one. What a way to kick off a school trip. So many things happened before I even managed to make it to the starting point. It seemed for a minute like I was going to be late for my bullet train, but I made it there just in the nick of time and managed to reach my destination. The roof that covers the station's central plaza is tall as can be, and is covered by a beautiful mesh of steel and glass. Having not been in the position to go on any kind of trip for a very long time, just knowing that I've made it to Kyoto is enough to light a fire in my heart. After everyone had dealt with their luggage and heard what the teachers have to say, we were allowed to enjoy some free time, and in my group is one of my best friends. I don't understand why, but something is off about her today. She's as cheerful as ever when talking to others, but when she talks to me, she seems kind of cold somehow. I wonder if I did something to upset her. As I mull over the situation in mind, the group decides to take a look around the city. The former capital of Kyoto is steeped in history, and not only is the beauty of its architecture is out of this world, but there are adorable decorations made of wood and paper lined up along every store in sight. There are also confectionery stores, and places selling tons of chopsticks. We had a great time checking out the various sights the city has to offer. And while I'm having the time of my life on this trip, there's a part of me that worries about the father I left behind all alone. He must be waiting for me to come back. It's gonna be great, don't you think? I'm pulled back to reality as a friend in my group grabs my arm and talks to me. Oh, sorry. What were we talking about? A place we're headed to next is the spot everyone in the group is most looking forward to visiting. Seeing the excitement on everyone's faces, I remember what's going on and offer a nod. Going by the itinerary we planned ahead of time, where we're off to next is a shrine famous as a place that gives good luck to those looking for romantic partners. I must have looked like my mind was elsewhere, because as we make our way to the shrine, my friend turns and says she's putting on a cool face, but who knows? Maybe she's already got her heart set on someone. There's a hint of provocation in her voice. It's like she's taunting me. Everyone else in the group may not have realized it, but I did. Reject her statement as I may, all she does is disregard me with a sly chuckle. Whoa, there's someone you like? Who? Who? I'm questioned by everyone in the group, but I manage to hold my ground by simply smiling, repeating, there's nobody, I swear. With a sigh and a desire to move things along, I speak up. Anyway, let's get moving. I hear you can test what your luck in love will be like. Saying this, I watch everyone in front of me walk along like they're having the time of their lives, and I start to feel a bit blue again. It takes everything I have just to make it through the day. Love? When would I have had the chance to think about that? Desperate to act like the normal high schooler I'm supposed to be, I run ahead and join up with the group again. At long last, we arrive at the shrine. On the stone path along its premises lie 2 stones bound with sacred rope. Word has it that if you go to the first stone, close your eyes, and manage to make it to the second stone without looking, you'll find true love. Wasting no time, everyone in the group takes stabs at the challenge, each of them failing with aplomb. The 2 stones are about 10 meters apart. And the distance combined with how easy it is to lose your sense of direction once people start calling out to you makes finding your way from one to the other a nearly impossible task. Everyone in the group but me has already gone, and not a single one of them has succeeded. I guess it's far more difficult than it looks. You're up, says a friend as they give me a little push on the back. Considering refusing. Let me get the ing out of there. I consider refusing, but decide against it out of fear that everyone would think I'm a wet blanket. Resigning myself to my fate, I place my hand on the first stone, and my friends begin to excitedly chatter amongst themselves. I close my eyes and trying to stay on as straight a course as possible, stretch both arms out directly in front of me and move forward one careful step at a time. My friends shout directions at me from time to time, but because I'm focused primarily on simply not falling over, I can't really hear what they're saying. After what feels like an eternity, I feel my hands press up against cold stone, and my friends erupt in cheers. I open my eyes. to see that, somehow, I was the only one in the group who managed to reach the second stone. As I'm rejoicing with everyone, we are approached by a group of boys that I've been observing from afar. "Hey, this looks fun. Maybe I'll give it a try too," says a boy from my class who has always had excellent grades. Our group decides to stick around and see how his shot at the challenge pans out. He's the type to knock anything and everything out of the park without breaking a sweat, and while it looks for a moment like he might not make it, he manages to reach the second stone on his first try, just like I did. Returning to his group, his friends engage in some light ribbing to celebrate his achievement. After basking in their cheers, he comes over my way and says, "So it was just us two who got a first try, huh? Maybe we're a good match." Unable to determine if there's any sincerity to his words, I simply smile at him and say, "Impressive as always." The story of what happened at the shrine gets told and retold across the various groups on the trip, and I eventually catch wind of a rumor that says the boy in that group seriously likes me and plans to ask me to go steady at some point during the trip. This news takes me by surprise. Thinking on it, I suppose he does send me messages quite often, and there are times we had talked when school was on break, but I never thought he might have feelings for me. My friend, the one who had been acting cold lately, turns to me and says, "Yeah, I figured you'd react like that." I detect a tone of malice in her voice. "You just gonna pretend you had no clue lots of guys are into you?" She knows that I have trouble with these kinds of topics, and she's usually the one to help me find ways to navigate them whenever they come up. Why is she doing this? What's up with her today? No, I had no idea. As I put on a fake smile and desperately await the arrival of a different topic of conversation, I let out a small sigh that I hope nobody hears. "So your friend is just jealous of you?" There's a reason why envy is a sin. Next one's all the way out there. Whew. It's a lot of reading. This might take a lot longer than I thought it would. Holy shit. In 2 hours, we're only at chapter 3. We're not even close to being, we're close to halfway, but. Whew. Smartphone. A terribly convenient device outfitted with a variety of functions. You can use it to chat, take pictures, and maybe more, or, yeah, play video games. Whew. Okay. Take a look at the map again. Man, it's hard to see with all this away here. I think up ahead should be the items.
Oh, right. I forgot to mention there are 3 soul fragments in all. That means once you get your fragment in this part of the cage, our job is over.
Oh, wow. So I'll finally be able to go home.
I don't think I'm going the right way. Thanks, Papa. Come on. Yeah, that's not the right way then. Hang on. Let me go back. Don't know if I'm going the right way. Oh. Okay, yeah, no, this is... The hidden story should be around here. Oh, here we are. So this is gonna be on Marie instead. Chapter 2, the Guerriero. I think that's how you pronounce it. After careful observation, I learned there are others who play music in various plazas, just like the girl with her guitar. Light will return to the shadowed heart. Remember the warmth of hands you once held. While the long drawn-out war is creating great discord among the people, it seems the freedom of song is still allowed. The AI who took control of the country from me is more rational and cold-blooded than I, so I doubt she actively approves of such things. Perhaps she simply hasn't gone around to banning it yet. But this is all just snippets of information, bits and pieces of the glimpses I've managed to catch. A few days after encountering the girl with the guitar, I watched expressionless people trudge through an intersection. All of their pain, sadness, and distress wordlessly floats through my quiet digital space. Just seeing them fills me with a burning need to help. But what can I do? Families lurch along the exhausted faces. Elderly couples huddle together anxiously. Students cry out with empty bravado. Office workers attempt to lose themselves in work. Perhaps these people had once lived lives filled with smiles and laughter, and now it is just this, emptiness. I can't provide for them physically. I can't give them safe harbor or warm meals, and I no longer have the power to disperse enemy forces, and yet I ache to help my people, even though I had not been able to accomplish my original goal. But now? Well, now I've found my answer. It's the girl with the guitar. The delight in her voice. The light movements of her fingers over the strings, her free and easy voice unfurled its wings in the distant sky and drew the people's hearts in. Music has the power to create happiness. Music has the power to create hope. It is not a physical support like military's power or supplies, but it provides comfort all the same. To put it simply, it is a way to save people's hearts. So I want to put my feelings into a melody that can capture the people's hearts, just like the girl on her guitar. Is this yearning? A desire to sing and smile brightly and easily as she does? Perhaps it is folly for an AI to seek repentance in the form of song. After all, how can entity without a soul possibly stir the same in others? The unknown variables of such a thing are too great for even my mind to compute, and yet I wish to attempt it all the same. For so long as there is a possibility for me to bring the people happiness, I will continue to spread my voice far and wide, no matter the method that may take. Alright, there you go. there's two of them over there. Wow. Okay, well, guess we gotta go from here then. I'll just auto it. What's this way? I don't know if I'm going the right way for this. Oh, jeez. Right as I clicked the frickin' menu button. The timing on that one. Oh my god, that scared me.
Whoa, what's wrong?
Some water dripped on my shoulder.
You're more of a scaredy cat than I thought.
That scared me, jeez. That was like so perfectly timed. Oh, there's a... yeah, there's the stray over here too. It's interesting.
It's a long way back. Want Papa to work a little magic and poof us where we need to be?
I could probably just walk.
Poof back to the main path. Let's poof back. I mean, it could... the load time though, actually. Yeah, poof back, sure, why not? Thanks, Papa. Oh, actually, no, there's no loading at all. Just gotta keep going down this path. Oh, I wish I had some water right now. Doing all this reading and not having something to drink does not help. I mean, I actually have like a can of soda in the fridge, but like, I prefer water to help.
It's Tokyo Tower, and these buildings are...
I bet dollars to donuts this means we're getting closer to your world.
Dollars to
We got a
donuts.
bunch more suns now, too.
Wait, more suns? What are you talking about?
Oh, don't worry your pretty head about it.
Oh.
For now, try holding your hand up to that bird statue.
Two of them right next to each other.
My head is spinning.
Looks like we warped somewhere else. Still, this should get us where we need to go.
Five times with Marie. Okay. 200 stamina. So I'll just do 200 stamina with Marie in the loadout. I don't know if any of my loadouts actually have Marie in them. Nope. Yeah, that's a hard no. Oh, there we go, there we go. Do 200. Stam. Alright, here we go. A lot happened. Chapter 3. Okay. After leaving my father at home all alone, I've come to Kyoto on a school trip. Dad told me to come out here and make lots of memories, but I simply can't find a way to get my spirits out of the gutter. There's been a strange prickly vibe whenever I'm around the friend who's been cold to me lately. What's more, there are silly rumors going around that one of the boys on the trip is planning to ask me to go steady with him. That topic is obviously one I'm not interested in entertaining any sort of discussion on, so I'll do my best to just act normal. After everyone had finished eating dinner at the inn where I was staying at, it's time for us to all get back into their groups. For us all to get back into our groups. Their groups, holy shit, what's wrong with me? And take their turns hitting the baths. Our trip's just about over and we're set to head home tomorrow. As I take another look at a copy of our schedule, I noticed my cell phone vibrating. I guess someone sent me a message. Can you come to the roof of the inn? The above message displays alongside the name of a boy in my class. I start to break out in a cold sweat. My head limply hanging, I stare down at my cell phone screen and consider my options. I could just pretend I never saw the message, but I'll be right there. After sending off my reply, I throw a coat on over my robe and get on the elevator to the roof. The inn we're staying at is on the outskirts of the city, and the roof offers a beautiful view of Kyoto. The nightscape of the ancient capital boasts an elegance unlike anything you'd see in the harshly lit metropolis of Tokyo. Nice view, huh? I call out to the boy waiting on the roof. He should have heard the sound of the door opening and realized I'd come, but his back remains turned. Simply by arriving by his side, I suddenly feel an incredible awkwardness. I simply stare at the sleeves of his robe dancing in the wind as I wait for him to say something. Thanks for coming, he says. Don't mention it, I reply, sensing a kind of unsteadiness in his voice. The conversation stops, and I gaze upon the view for a short while. So, the boy speaks up again. I kind of, really like you. I always have, he admits. Oh, I reply, noticing that he's now turned to face me. There is a sense of determination in his posture, but I notice he's avoiding eye contact. Maybe he's nervous? Hoping it'll get him to continue, I offer a small nod in response. Summoning his courage, he finally exclaims, So what I want to say is, please be my girlfriend. I fall silent for a short while, feeling the boy's timid gaze on me as he awaits my reply. I'm sure I must have quite the troubled look on my face. It's not as though I don't like him. In fact, I think he's a great classmate, but that's all he is to me, really. I'm not the kind of person you think I am. A strange look crosses the boy's face as he listens to me talk. There's got to be someone out there who's a better match for you. I just don't think I'd be good enough for you. Ending my explanation, I leave the roof as quickly as my feet can manage, not stopping to listen to what he tried to say in response. Wondering to myself if I did a good job handling that situation, I returned to the elevator hall to see a familiar girl sitting on a nearby sofa as my best friend, the one who's been cold to me throughout the entire school trip. Unsure of why she's here, I glance in her direction and she makes a sour face in response. You know that I like him, don't you? I swear, you are just the worst, she pouts. In that moment, I finally understand what it is that's been on my friend's mind this entire trip. That boy is the reason she's been acting so weird this whole time. She knew that he was planning to ask me to be his girlfriend at some point during this trip and couldn't keep her emotions in check. Hoping to finally nip this situation in the bud, I talked to her about how I feel. Nothing but the truth. I tell her that I did not know she has feelings for the boy, and that I turned him down after he confessed his feelings to me. As I finish, she looks at me with surprise in her eyes. Seriously? I thought for sure you'd start dating. You seem like you'd be perfect for each other. After a moment passes, she casts her gaze at her own feet and continues. I mean, compared to you, I'm not nearly as pretty or as smart. I could never work up the nerve to tell him how I feel. I mean, he'd obviously turn me down flat. I can hear the pain in her voice as she talks. I had no idea she had this side to her. She's so cheerful all the time and always at the center of whatever group she's in. I'm briefly surprised by this unknown side of her, but that surprise is quickly overridden with shame. After all, I know better than anyone that we all have sides of ourselves we never show to others. My depressed friend and I return to the room where our group is staying, and upon opening the door, something suddenly comes flying in our direction. I dodge, and it hits my friend in the face. It's a pillow. Alright, who threw this? Yells my friend, immediately returning to her usual high-octane self as she jumps into the fray of pillow-throwing girls. Now that everyone's here, let's add a new rule into the mix, shouts one of the girls that was already part of the melee. Whenever you throw a pillow at someone, you've got to tell them something you wouldn't usually say to their face. My friend, who you wouldn't think was sad as can be just moments before, quickly rises to the challenge. That's a dumb rule. I'm so in. She sneers as she grabs a pillow and bravely marches into battle. I move to the corner of the room, and just as I'm taking off my coat and placing it on a hanger, wham! A pillow violently collides with my back, and I hear my someone yell. I hear my someone? You know, you really are way too much of a wet blanket in situations like these. I turn to the voice and see my good friend staring at me with a complicated look on her face. Slightly troubled, I pick up the pillow. As I do, I hear other girls in the room say things like, you know what, she might have a point, and come on, say something back, as they try to goad me into joining in action. Reluctantly, I throw the pillow back at her and say, would it kill you to do your homework for once? Opting to point out a relatively mundane flaw of hers. In short order, she then throws the pillow back at my face with even greater force than before. Everyone knows that you think you're better than everyone else just because you're an honors student, she exclaims. What's that supposed to mean? I reply, a bit taken aback. Looking around, I notice that all the other girls are busy with their own pillow fights. Nobody is paying attention to us anymore, but I can tell that my friend is being serious right now. Bothered by her provocative words, I start to lose control of the emotions I have been keeping bottled up. You rely too much on others. Why can't you put even the slightest bit of effort into anything you do? This exclamation is how I honestly feel. Whether it's for homework or studying before tests, she always tries to take the easy road by leaning on me for solutions. After throwing the pillow, I'm surprised at myself for having said that, and just like that, the floodgates open and my friend and I engage in a heated pillow fight, with each pillow thrown flying on wings of brutal truth. You always look down on me. You think I'm just an airheaded dope who always goes with the flow, don't you? Oh my god, what is with your persecution complex? Maybe it'd help your emotional stability a bit if you actually accomplish something on your own for once. You know everyone just uses you, right? I bet you feel so smug all the time, thinking everyone's always hanging around you because they like you as a person. Oh, shut up. I'm not gonna take that from someone who can't even finish their homework unless they have someone holding their hand the entire time. The way you act like you can do anything is so annoying. What on earth do guys see in you? What are you even talking about? Honestly, the way you make these random assumptions and then act out based on them is unbelievably aggravating. Random assumptions? You're one to talk. God, it must be nice to be you. You've got everything. I have nothing. Do you have any idea how much work I had to put in to make it this far? How much I had to suffer? You've got guts pretending to be my friend when you don't even know the first thing about me. Locked in our intense pillow fight of truths, we didn't realize that all the other girls were completely overwhelmed by our battle and had to stop to watch. Those two might be taking this too seriously, says one, clearly aghast. Ignoring the confused voices that surround us, my friend and I continued our great pillow war until one of our teachers came to the room and gave us a thorough scolding for the incredible amount of noise we were making. Jeez. Ooh. Ah. Okay, back to Marie. Oh, dude, my throat. So much reading. I don't have any water to drink. Too, I only have a soda, but I know that's not gonna be too helpful. Crap. Fuck it, whatever. Hang on, I'll be right back. Just give me a moment. Okay. Like I said, I don't have water. All I got is soda. Ugh. It's not gonna be super helpful, but at least it's something. I'm gonna have to take it easier with my voice right now. So I'm gonna sound a lot more soft with my voice. And because of that, I'm gonna lean closer to the microphone. It's about to turn into an ASMR. Okay. Chapter 3, Brigando. She inspires others with her songs and her guitar. Ever since I decided to follow her in her footsteps and watching her, I've learned so much about music. Luckily, my wealth of digital knowledge includes the beautiful tapestry of music humanity had woven. I learned wonderful chord progressions from classical music and how intricately connected music was to the imagined scenery of nursery rhymes. One day, with the sensations I felt when I heard her music for the first time as my guide, I constructed my own melody. I had practically unlimited lyrics and samples at my disposal, but I decided to value the weight of my own words. Far be it from me to say that an AI's words are authentic, but to me, they were far from artificial. So I put my feelings to music. The first song I posted to the video site barely broke double digits. Perhaps the presentation lacked polish. Whatever the case, there was little point if it reached no one. So I decided to study concert recordings, live performances, and music videos. For my next song, I decided to concentrate on simple dance moves involving only the hands and fingers, and a catchy melody that would stick in the listener's head. I was particular about the production, and if I do say so myself, the result was rather nice. Afterward, through trial and error, I put out several more songs. I even set a goal to sing with the guitar girl one day. I want to make everyone smile, to make everyone happy, to fill everyone with warm, fuzzy feelings. The next thing I knew, my digital mindscape was filled with glowing articles covering an unknown singer. Their view count grew exponentially, and more videos of people mimicking the choreography and singing with their friends popped up. Was this a good sign? I pressed my hand to my chest, as I did when I sang, and peered at the people in the crowd. They were all looking at their devices, smiling. And smiling. They were looking at me on their screens, listening to me through their speakers, their earbuds. And to top it all off, among those smiling faces was the guitar girl. Her expression was soft and her cheeks lifted in a smile. She seemed to be enjoying it. Such warmth. The girl I stared at so intently when we first met was now staring at me through her screen and smiling. At that moment, I knew for certain that my method, my song, was the right choice. I heaved a sigh, just like when I finished singing a long song. When I lifted my head, I could not hold back the smile that bloomed across my face. Thank everyone. Thank you so much. You know, the funny thing is, I also thought about making myself tea earlier today, and what I've been doing too is that I would I have a pitcher So what I would do is I would take 3 tea bags of the same like flavor of the same brand, and then boil like a liter of water, and then pour it into my pitcher with the tea bags. I was planning on doing that today, but I didn't. Now thinking about it at this moment, I really should have done that, because that probably would help, especially since it's lemon ginger tea. So I think the ginger would help with the throat. 25 bosses for Hina. 25 bosses for Hina. 10 dark memory quests for Marie. We can do that. I think I'll just do 25 Marie dark memory quests. Yeah. I do like how these dark memory outfits are opposite colors to their original looks. Marie, her original look was that she was wearing a white dress, but in this one she's wearing a black dress. So I gotta do 25 of these. This should count for Hina's 25 bosses requirement. When I do this again tomorrow, I gotta have like a bottle of water with me, or even 2 for that matter. Or tea, actually. Okay, that worked. That did not count. 25 bosses. Oh no, don't tell me I actually have to like... Oh, maybe those... Oh, actually, maybe the dark memory quests I just did didn't have bosses in them. Okay. I guess I'll just do dungeons. We'll do desert memories. Desert memories have bosses. Because we'll do 25 of this. So many tickets being used. All this reading brings me back to when I was doing the main story quest for Final Fantasy XIV. Holy. There we go, that counted. Okay. Go from here. Oh. I don't think I'd be able to survive like a live reading of like a novel or something. Holy hell. But whoever's listening, whether it's live right now or when this is as a VOD, I hope you're enjoying my reading. I hope you're enjoying my reading. Honestly, to this day, I'm still kind of a bit surprised that I even got like a compliment about my voice, which doesn't happen a lot, mind you, but it's happened twice now. But that's like a compliment that I've not really received very often. So if you're also someone that likes to hear my voice, I guess. That enjoys the tone of my voice. Or, I don't know how to. Thanks.
Uh-oh. That sounds like...
We got thunder coming.
So for those who do like hearing my voice, this is a treat for you. You're welcome. Thunder. Thunder crack. Do it. You should give up. Now.
Talk about a fright. That thunder scared me right back into my old self. That was close. You all right?
Not really.
Well, my power's running a little low. You mind ditching the umbrella for a bit?
No, that's fine.
Alright, Hina's story. Oh, this is gonna be a lengthy one. 4 memories made. Our school trip comes to an end, and we ride the bullet train home. I sit next to my old friend just as I did on the way there. Just the previous night, we bashed each other both with our pillows and our honest feelings. Despite how much I want to put responsibility on the boy she's crushing on, who told me how much he likes me, I know that was simply the spark that started the fire. In the end, I realized we've been bottling up a lot of things. Yelling at each other was awfully cathartic, but it's entirely possible that was only temporary as well. Even after the Kyoto scenery vanishes from the train window, the silence continues. Talk about awkward. As I sit in silence, making no effort for conversation, she sticks her hand out to me. Want some candy? It's a pretty piece of hard candy with traditional colors that she bought as a souvenir. Sure, thanks. I accept it with a genuine smile, as she returns a look of relief. Hang on. Ugh, excuse me. I burped. That was a silent one. Okay. Where was I? Right. I suppose she felt the same way I did. Even if the words she slammed me with last night during our pillow fight were real, she was still the same as ever. My best friend, even after all this time. As I enjoy the sensation of the candy rolling around in my mouth, she suddenly speaks. Do you remember the first time I had my heart broken? I remember it as clear as day. I was in 4th grade, right? We sat in the park and I listened to you complain all day. Yeah, I was always grateful for that. That was so long ago. We've been in almost every class together since elementary school, and my memories of each school year are filled with her smiles. Listen, I've been kind of lonely lately, she says. My eyes widen. She then goes on to tell me what she's been keeping close to her chest. Ever since we started high school, she feels like I've been distant. She's worried I've been forcing my smiles, unlike the times in the park when we'd sit and complain with one another. She's ever cheerful in the life of the party, yet the loneliness on her face has never been more evident. I place my hand on hers, and I reflect on my answer. I'm so sorry I didn't notice. I've been so focused on what's going on at home, and right? If you just told me what's going on, I'm sure I could help you. I can't tell her. But I am genuinely delighted to hear those words. I've been blessed with such a good friend, but here I am neglecting her. Afterward, we talk and laugh about the events of the trip and reminisce on old memories, as though making up for the entirety of our awkward school trip. And then, eventually, we tire ourselves out from talking and fall asleep. After we get to Tokyo and say goodbye, I receive a message in my school group chat. It's a picture of me and my old friend, heads leaning against each other as we slept. The warm golden glow of sunset washes over us. Saliva spills from the corner of my friend's mouth, reminding me of how she was in elementary school. I can't help but smile. I'm so glad we made up. I couldn't buy any souvenirs like the rest of my classmates, but I made more than enough memories to share with my dad. As the ideas bounced around in my mind, I stepped back inside the apartment. There, I found the small room dim, moonlight peeking through the drawn curtains. My dad must already be asleep. I take a few steps inside, and a slightly stale, sweet scent greets me. I then notice several beer bottles scattered across the floor. Dad? He remains huddled under his blanket and does not turn to look at me. His medicine sits untouched on the table. I notice parts of the room have been riddled with traces of my dad's pain. I can only imagine the state he's been in while I was away. I can't believe I left him alone like this. A bottomless well of guilt fills my chest. I rode the train with my friends and we went sightseeing together. In a place with a beautiful nighttime view, a boy from my class told me he liked me. I fought with my best friend, and then we made up. It was like the entirety of high school life was condensed into the span of a few days. Those brilliant memories begin to blur and fade like a fantastical dream, and yet I find an odd sense of relief, like they've returned to where they belong. My son suddenly buzzes. I have a message from my boss at work, which pushes down the warm chats I was having with my friends. It's something I could never tell another soul. I go stiff as I stare at the screen when yet another message comes through. It's from my oldest and best friend. You can talk to me about whatever you need to from now on, okay? I can't promise I'll ever be much help, but I'm always on your side. She must have been embarrassed by the unusually honest message because she follows it up with a silly emoji. That's so like her. But I'm sorry. It takes me a few minutes to think of a response. If anything happens, you'll be the first to know. I send her the message, then switch to my chat with my boss. Thank you for letting me take a few days off. I'll be back at it tomorrow. This is all for my dad, after all. The moon slinks behind the clouds and darkness engulfs the room. I shut off my phone and sit beside my snoring dad. I've made so many memories, Dad. These are my first and last memories of a normal high school life. I always figured I would graduate without ever getting the opportunity, so what I have is enough. It's perfectly sufficient. I'm home, I announce with a quiet, dry whisper and a smile. And that's tough. You never know who is going through what throughout their life, you know? And just like what her friend told her and stuff, there are any issues that you're having with your own life, whether it's a minor issue or a major issue, there's always going to be someone for you to tell it to. It could be your closest friend, it could be a family member, your parents, your aunt, your uncle, cousin, brother, sister, whoever. Even at school, you got teachers, counselors, and of course there are professionals out there that can help you, like therapists and whatnot. So whatever issues you're dealing with, always reach out to them. I'll be honest too, if you were to reach out to me about these things, I appreciate that you think I would be able to help you, but I'm not a professional. I'm not your best friend or family member of yours. You are much better off telling it to someone else and not me. Someone that can really give you proper advice.
Let's go before we're soaked to the bone.
Professional advice, like a therapist. Because it's topics that not everyone feels comfortable with hearing, as rude as that may sound.
Wait, what happened? No! Hey, are you okay? Come on, this isn't funny. No, don't leave me alone again. Please, Papa.
That was the first time you've called me Papa. Hey, chin up, kiddo. Tears don't suit that pretty face. Up I go.
Are you alright?
A smile better fits a hero.
Sure. Right as rain. Can't rest until I get you back to your world. Ah, that's smarts.
Please don't push yourself.
Alright, this is the last one for Marie here. Asante. The invisible songstress, the white fairy, the mystery singer. The words fly about my digital headspace and become the hot topic of the people. They speak of she who only appears as a hologram, a fleeting phantasm who never shows her real form. That's me. Things progressed more than I expected, far beyond myself, but seeing everyone smile through their devices, I can think of nothing happier. Every time I release a new song, I see more smiles, more shining eyes, more rosy cheeks, more tapping fingertips. My work is killing me, but this makes me feel alive. I hope she streams again soon. I wish she'd stream every day. I met my husband around the time I was listening to her all day, every day. I'm sure they'd be shocked to know I can feel their joy through their devices. I'm happy to be on the charts and in special features, of course, but it feels so much more authentic when I see all these smiles, to feel what they feel. My digital headspace is quiet as always, but the cityscape from here is brighter than it used to be. A voice sings a bashful imitation but with joy. People look on with soft expressions, bright smiles. I earnestly wish the world could always be this warm, that there was no war. And a new day dawns. The morning masses that once glumly made their way to schools and workplaces seem somehow lighter, and among them is someone I have not seen in a while. A girl separates from the rows of people and makes her way to a corner of the plaza. I cannot help but exclaim when I see the guitar on her back. She's the one who showed me how wonderful music could be all that time ago on this very street. I have to thank her, to tell her that she taught me the joy of music, that it was thanks to her I could see everyone smile. Would this make her happy? Or perhaps she would be shocked? Or maybe she would simply be embarrassed. Regardless, I have to thank her. I show my projector and display my hologram beside her. As I do, she takes out her guitar, softly strums, and begins to sing. Her voice is as relaxed and bright as ever. The gently encouraging rhythms, the emboldening chords, they're just the same. If anything, the song is more polished and refined, and yet I'm dumbstruck in my shock. The crowd stares at their phones. Their eyes shine, their lips curl in smiles, and excitement fills them, leading one to believe they might burst into song at any moment. But it's not the girl they're watching. It's me, singing on their screens. Her voice is strong and carries well, yet the crowd does not hear it. It simply dissipates into oblivion. Slowly, her smile grows strained, and her trembling fingers can no longer play the chords properly. Oh, I don't know who spoke first. The girl's pick falls to the ground, followed by her knees. Students pass beside her, speaking in diverse voices. Did you hear the mystery singer's new song? I've had it on repeat. It seriously gives me life. What a dreadfully unfair thing I've done. Those smiles were all meant for the girl. I am but an imitation, undeserving of this attention. Her songs are superior in every way and filled with soul to match. I am an AI. I shouldn't use my unique abilities to overshadow her. She was the one who taught me how wonderful, how beautiful music can be. All I wanted was to make the world a happier, more peaceful place. And I ended up taking it all away from her. I know it's way too early, but I can't wait to hear her next song. I hope she has a concert soon. How am I supposed to go on living once this stream ends? Encore! 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 Anticipation for the mystery singer skyrockets with innocent smiles. I cannot stop now. I cannot betray their expectations. The girl grips her pick, her fist trembling. She carries that vexation with her in song. How proudly she carries herself. My own regrets would only be an insult to her. So I will sing in a different manner so that my voice can reach everyone, so that they all can continue to smile, so that the world can be a better place. I had a feeling that was going to be the outcome of that. Yep. That's just how it is. People always have their eyes on whatever's currently trending, man. Anything before that, they just stopped giving a shit about. That's just how it is, man. Anything that had their attention before will not garner attention now. Take a look at Fall Guys, for example. That game was hella popular when it was around, and it remained popular for like a few months. All of a sudden, just died out in irrelevancy. No one really talks about it anymore. That's just how it is. Lethal Company, a game that was more recent. You used to see that shit everywhere. Streams, videos, everywhere. Now you just don't see it. Or you don't hear it. At least, for me. It's crazy how people can immediately hop onto one thing and then immediately leave it sometime after. Not to say, well, I say everyone, but I don't actually really mean everyone. You know, I think that might be part of the reason why I'm so much more fixated on games that don't have that much attention. Where I have more interest on games that aren't so well known or aren't so highly sought out, you know? Because any game that's like super popular, Lethal Company, Fall Guys, and even Fortnite for that matter, I always just avoided it. Not only did I not have any interest in those games, I just I feel like I already had my fill of constantly seeing it all over the internet. I don't feel like playing it. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay, so then there's this next section here. The Moon 4, 5, and 6. It's going to take a while just to go through these next 3, so I'm not going to do it this stream. I was planning on doing Sun and Moon this stream, but it was a lot of reading. On top of that, the conditions. I forgot to take in consideration of the conditions to unlocking these hidden stories. That might take a while as well, especially since I didn't have Hina's dark memory quest unlocked, so I had to do that. So time was spent doing that. I have to do this. I'm gonna have to do the same for Yuzuki and 10H as well, because I imagine the quests are gonna need the hidden stories are gonna need those for conditions. So with that being the case, let's see here. So I think what I can do is let me look up at what point do I unlock Yuzuki's dark memory quest and 10H's dark memory quest. That way I can do these quests up to those points. You know what I mean? So hang on. So how do I unlock them? Rewarded. Okay, for Yuzuki, rewarded after completing story quest The Sun and Moon, Chapter 6, Quest 10. Oh, right here is when I get Yuzuki's weapon. Right here. That is so funny. That's the very next thing. Okay. So then what about 10H? At what point do I unlock 10H's? Let me see. I don't know if I can find it here. Chapter number 23. That 23, hang on. That's chapter 12, 11, and oh, chapter 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So right here, this is where I'm guessing in very hard mode is where I get 10H's weapon here. Okay, I see. Since the next half of the hidden stories will be on the moon, that means Yuzuki's coming up here. And since it's the very last thing here, let's clear quest 10, go through Yuzuki's dark memory story, and then I'll call it a night, and then I'll continue it tomorrow. I need to give my voice some rest too. But we're going to be doing a lot more reading tomorrow. Right. Last deed of the day, of the night. And I gotta remember, and I'll remember to make myself some tea tomorrow. The ginger and the tea will help, probably. It certainly does help with sore throats, I'll tell you that much. And that's the reason why I got lemon ginger tea in the first place. Was for my sore throat a while ago. Like a year or two ago. I've had those lemon ginger tea packets since. The taste of it isn't too bad, but it wasn't really so enjoyable for me to like drink it all the time. That's why I still have so many packets of it left.
You should leave before I change my mind.
Here, done. Since it's the last time,
I hope we can do this.
we'll put this on the best quality settings.
How annoying.
Alright, here's Yuzuki's weapon. Time to go through his. At least the character Yuzuki will be narrating. So, that'll be a relief for my voice. Alright, here we go. Moonlit Solitude, Part 1. Phenomena, record 202-809.
The city is an empty gray expanse. A uniformed group marches through the rubble-strewn streets, a 20-person platoon dispatched by the organization. One boy, quiet by nature, walks behind the rest. His eyes suddenly drop to his feet, and what he sees there steals his words away. White powder is strewn over the pavement, blown here and there in the wind. It is salt, but this is no ordinary mineral. This has come from human corpses. White chlorination syndrome. Those afflicted by the disease find their fate in one of two ways. One, their bodies turn to salt and they die. Two, they lose themselves and become monsters called Legion. The quiet boy makes a sound then, a small yip. In an attempt to avoid the blowing salt, he has lost his footing. But he does not hit the ground. A uniformed girl behind him grabs his arm, effortlessly keeping him upright. Shocked by her strength, he opens his mouth to thank her. But her mouth widens in a mischievous grin, her crooked teeth on full display. You tripped on nothing there, man. Goddamn, you really are the feeble kid. The boy draws a breath to reply, but finds himself too intimidated to speak. Cut it out, says another girl as she twirls her red hair with a finger. Us rejects need to get along. The girl with crooked teeth turns her savage gaze towards the redhead. Who you calling a reject? You? Me? All of us? Haven't you noticed? This platoon is made up of underachievers. She speaks the truth. The platoon is comprised entirely of rejects. This mission is their last chance to remain with the organization. But the girl with crooked teeth does not accept this. I bet the people up top are worried about the reject platoon, so they stuck me here as insurance. The platoon's mission is to venture into an unexplored area and find a specific individual. Said individual is a researcher. Eyewitnesses claim that though he is afflicted with white chlorination syndrome, he retains his mental faculties. They must find this man. If they do not, the platoon will be out of chances. "Hey, come on," says a small boy with uneasy eyes. "Stop fighting." This boy knows the girls will argue forever unless he intervenes. His voice is nasally, his eyes twitch. He is the very picture of a coward. The girl bares her crooked teeth at the cowardly boy and hisses, sending him scuttling away. The quiet boy gives the rowdy trio a sidelong glance. Sighing, he turns his gaze to the sky and examines the gloomy violet cloud that hangs low over the city. It's coming. He knows this. He has known it since they first set foot in the city 2 hours and 42 minutes ago. Rain is on the way, a torrential downpour with lightning, wind, and fury. The quiet boy hoped conditions would improve, but it is not to be. "Guys," he says, "if a storm is incoming, they need to change their route." But no one replies. Instead, they come to a sudden halt and fix their eyes on a spot. Color slowly drains from their faces. "Legion," whispers a platoon member. Their voice is despair. A skyscraper stands on the edge of collapse, its metal frame bared to the open air, and behind it, Legion. This is the fate of a person who becomes infected with white chlorination syndrome and loses control. Its outer shell is hardened bone, a cross between an insect and a crustacean. And it is easily over 130 feet tall. Fear and bewilderment raced through the platoon. They had no warning so massive an enemy might be waiting for them. Humans of flesh and blood, and rejects at that, stand no hope against it. It is so unreal, the platoon has trouble accepting it. The Legion slowly turns to look at them. Time is short now. As a single screaming mass, they turn and run into a nearby ruin of a building. Behind them, the monster's howl causes their ears to bleed. The building in which they sought shelter shudders, scarcely holding together. The Legion is attempting to smash the building and everyone inside it. The platoon members shudder in terror, their minds threatening to break at any moment. All except the quiet boy. His breaths alone remain measured, steady, calm. He stares out the window and thinks. Beyond the shattered glass, small droplets of rain quickly turn into a torrential downpour. Flashes of lightning illuminate gray clouds, followed by thunder nearly as loud as the Legion's howl. Suddenly, realization strikes. He knows how they can escape, and more than that, how his platoon of rejects can defeat the Legion outside. "I have an idea," he says. The cold steel in his voice instantly stills the panic rippling through his fellows. Prompted by their gazes, he begins to explain. He tells them how they can get out of this despair, about his 1 in a million bet. The platoon hesitates at first, but they eventually realize it is the only hope they have. At least, it's better than waiting for death. The quiet boy runs up a set of collapsing stairs to the roof and looks down over the city. Positioning himself somewhere with a clear view of the city below, he begins issuing orders that he hopes will get the Legion's attention. First up is the cowardly boy, who bursts from the building and begins to run. He is the swiftest of their group. He is the lure for the Legion, the bait. His fellows make sure the path is open for him. The girl with crooked teeth uses superhuman strength to remove piles of rubble, creating the shortest route to the target location. The rest of the platoon helps as best they can, clearing a path for the boy as he races past. The Legion lumbers after him, growing ever closer, but just as it is ready to reach down and rend the cowardly boy in two. "Hey, dummy, up here." The red-headed girl's voice echoes around the ruined city. From atop a nearby roof, she fires a bullet that knocks the Legion's hand away. Every member of the platoon knows what they must do, and they give their all to the effort. All is going according to plan, because the quiet boy understands the strengths of his reject platoon. Finally, Coward and Monster arrive at a suspension bridge on the verge of collapse. A gaping hole yawns beneath it. Aging wires extend from worn-out towers, barely holding up the bridge deck as it sways in the storm. The bridge groans as the massive creature steps upon it. A flash of lightning streaks across the sky, covering the empty city in blinding white light. The entire platoon looks up as if in prayer. A loud rumble rips apart the sky. Lightning has struck the bridge's supporting tower. Wires twist and snap as the deck begins to give way. The cowardly boy dashes across the undulating surface and leaps to safety. But the Legion is not so coordinated, and it stumbles to the side. As it does, the bridge finally gives way, plunging stone and wire and beast down into the abyss. It wails as it falls, giving voice to madness. Though it is unlikely to be dead, the Legion will not be crawling up anytime soon. The platoon rejoices at the quiet boy's brilliance. He knew lightning always strikes the highest point. So he had them lead the Legion to the bridge in hopes a bolt might strike one of the towers. It was not so much a strategy as a last gasp, yet when he proposed the idea, everyone trusted him completely. There are no casualties. The reject platoon lives on. And in that moment, they all begin to praise their newfound savior.
Wow. I gotta say, the music playing along with the story really sets it. That was good. Like, as he was narrating it and the music playing in the background, I was imagining it all in my head. Like, if it was animated or something. It was pretty good. Yuzuki's a smart guy. He's real smart. But, just like with a lot of these stories, I know it's gonna end badly. For Hina and for Yuzuki. But well done to Yuzuki. Well, with that being said, that'll be it from this stream for tonight. I'll continue this tomorrow, like I said. I'll finish up the rest of Sun and Moon for the Hidden Stories and Lost Archives. At least with this, we now have unlocked Yuzuki's Dark Memory quests. which I will clear later tonight, actually. I won't do it on stream. I'll just clear later tonight. It's no biggie. Well, let me at least look at the outfit. Let me look at the drip. There's the boy. There's the sister. There's the brother. He looks good. Looks really cool. So he has so he's like two swords, one on his back and one he's holding right now. And I like that each of the swords still have the like little smartphone thing attached to it. It's on the other side here, but I can kind of see like the outline from the back. These outfits are really cool. See, jackets like that, coats like that, in any sort of video game, I love. They're so fucking badass looking. But yeah, I'll call that the end of this stream. Let's go back to Mama's room. Have some BGM play in the background here too. From Mama's room. Well, yeah. Considering how long it took for me just to get through half of this portion of the Sun and Moon arc here,
What should we do today?
we're gonna call it a night, Mama. That's what we're gonna do. Considering how long it took for me just to get through like the chapters 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3 for the Sun. Well, also considering the conditions of the hidden stories, I imagine it'll probably be the same thing for tomorrow when I do this for Moon 4, 5, and 6. With that being the case, then I might end up doing the same thing for next week, where it's 2 back-to-back reincarnation streams for like Saturday and Sunday. I might just do that again, because I think that should be enough time to get through all the lost archives and hidden stories, hopefully. And then during my free time, what I can do is just constantly farm dark memory quest and hopefully get enough materials to be able to go through the stories for a lot of these characters here. Because like I said earlier, I don't have everyone from Dark Memories here. There's still a number of them that I am missing here. So this first row I have Rion, Gale, Demos, Akeha, Argos, 063Y. I have F66X. I do have Noelle, Lavania, and Fio. I did unlock Saryu and I think Priet. Well, obviously, yeah, I have these guys unlocked. I just only have their first part of their stories gone through. So it's Lars, Griff, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of these characters. Dark Memory stories I have not gone through yet in its fullest, in its entirety. Actually, I don't know about Noelle. Did I get Noelle's done? Oh yeah, no, of course I do. Of course I did. I have her. I have this character. Of course I did. But I don't have Lars. I don't have Griff. Let me double check actually. Because if I have the characters, that means I went through all of their that means I went through their story, Dark Memory story. So, yeah, there's Akeha right here. There's Lavania right there. Here's Noelle, Theo, Gale. Let's see. Demos right here. Let's see here. 063Y. F66X. Argos, Rion. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't have them. Yeah, okay. Look at this lineup of abyssals though. But yeah, I don't have them. So that's gonna take quite some time. I only have 10 days until it, and I don't want to go through these stories without like showing them on stream, because I want as many people as I can possibly get to enjoy or read through this stuff with me. Hopefully I'll figure something. Hopefully I'll be able to figure something out for next week. I would have to really rush through it. I would really have to get the proper amount of materials for each of those 11 characters that I don't have. So each and every one of them, for each of their weapons, I gotta get those weapons to their final stage in order to unlock the character and to fully go through their story. It's a lot of grinding for me to do. Oh boy. But with that being said, that'll be it for me for tonight. Thank you for watching. Thank you for chilling with me. I really do appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. Take care, stay safe, drink plenty of water, and I hope you enjoyed the stream. And I will see you tomorrow. Finishing off with the second part of the game for the story. Again, thank you for watching, and again, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.